Hello, good morning. I just want to welcome you to my channel this morning. Thank you for joining me. I want to quickly talk about the leadership role of the man in marriage. The leadership role of the man in marriage. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22, the Bible began to talk to the wives. It said, "Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands, for the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is head of the church." Now, the Bible puts the man there as the head of the wife, exactly the same way that Christ is the head of the church. So the man is the head, not by election of the wife or election of the family members. The man is the head of the wife by God's design, by God's order. And then that headship means leadership. It doesn't mean lordship. It doesn't mean kingship. It doesn't mean dictatorship. Many times some men, pride in the fact that God made them the head and use it to oppress their wives, use it to insult and harass their wives. No. That headship is not dictatorship, but leadership. And that leadership is in the leadership pattern of Christ. In other words, the way Christ leads the church is the way the husband is supposed to lead the wife. So, in as much as the wife's job is to submit to the man, it is the man's job to lead the wife the way Christ leads the church. If you want to know exactly how the man should lead the wife, you look at how Christ leads. When Jesus came, Jesus said, "I have not come to be served by mankind, but to serve mankind and lay my life down a ransom for many." In other words, in Jesus' pattern of leadership, it is by service, it is by sacrifice, it is by humility, it is by laying his life down for the sheep. In Psalms chapter 23 verse 1, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd, the one that feeds me, the one that guides me, and the one that shields me. I shall not want." And in the book of John, Jesus claimed, "I am the good shepherd." In other words, the shepherd the Bible talks about in Psalm 23 verse 1 is Jesus. He said, "I am the good shepherd. I lay down my life for the sheep." And that is how you know the good shepherd, sacrifice. And Jesus actually did that. He laid down his life for the sheep. That's why we are all saved today. That is exactly what the husband is supposed to do for the wife in the place of leadership. You're meant to be laying down your life in place of sacrifice for your wife. So the leadership pattern a man is supposed to give the wife is the leadership pattern that is saddled with service, saddled with humility, saddled with giving value to their wives. And that is exactly what Jesus did. Jesus Christ one day took a towel on his neck and took a bowl of water and knelt down and began to wash the feet of all the disciples, all of them, including Judas that was supposed to betray him. I keep wondering, why would Jesus wash Judas's feet, knowing that Judas will betray him in a few minutes or few hours? But he did. He still showed Judas value, he still showed Judas humility, he still showed Judas service. He still made sacrifices for Judas, even though Judas was going to be the person to betray him. So I don't care what your wife is doing wrong or what she has done wrong, or maybe how she's living wrong. It's not your business to maltreat your wife, to insult your wife, to harass your wife just because she's doing something wrong. No, that's when your love for her should increase. That's when your sacrifice for her should increase. That's when your commitment to her should increase. I want to advise you today, men, your leadership is in the order of Christ. Exactly what Jesus will do to the wife, which is the church, is what you are meant to do to your wife. Have a blessed day. God bless you. Bye-bye.